We are looking at statistics where we are trying to get the mean, variance, and standard deviation of data that you are given. We have an example on the board, so we are going to get all those from this example on the board using this data which has been given to us on the board. So we have the table below shows the distribution of ages of 30 footballers at a school. So this is the distribution of years. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So as you can see, we are not given this in intervals or classes. We are just given actual values, actual ages. We are not given in intervals. So there will be no need of getting the midpoint. These are just going to act like a midpoint. So it's like we are starting from step 2. We are starting from step 2 where we are getting the midpoint. But for this one, the midpoint is already there. So we are starting from step 2. You can see the frequencies have also been written on the board for each measure. So let's get the actual the needed information for us to work out this question. Okay. So we have the frequency. So this is our frequency and our F. This is our X. So let's get now Fx. Let's get Fx, meaning that we multiply the frequency by the midpoint. Okay. So we shall say this one will give us 0. This one will give us 11 by 2 is 22. This one will give us 60. This one will give us 91. This one will give us 112. Then 19 and 32. So these are the f-axis where we are multiplying the frequency by the measure. The frequency by the measure. So when we multiply the frequency by the measure, we are getting these values. And when we sum the f-axis, what we are getting is 407. We are getting 407 when we add the f-axis. And when we add the frequencies, we are getting 30. Because actually, we are looking at 30 footballers, the ages of 30 footballers. So when we add the frequencies, we should get a sum of 30. Okay, so now we also need to get the fx square. Where we are supposed to square the x, then multiply by the frequency. We square the x, then we multiply by the frequency. So of course here we are getting a 0. When we square 11 and multiply by 2, we are getting 242. We square 12 by 5, we are getting 720. We square 13 by 7, we are getting 1183. Then 1568. Then 1350. And 512. Yes. So these are the fx square. We square the midpoint and we multiply by the frequency, we get this. We square, multiply by, we get the square, we get that one. And the total of these fx's called sigma fx square, we are getting 5575. So that is the information that will help us get whatever we are looking for. Okay, we start by getting the mean. So x bar is equal to, you can see, the mean is given by sigma fx, or the sum of the fx's. Sum of the fx, this is where we have 407. Then we have sum of the f, which is the sum of the frequencies. This is where we have 30. Now when we say 407 divided by 30, we are getting 13.56 bar. 13.56 bar. 6 bar meaning that the 6 keeps on repeating. The 6 keeps on repeating. So simply we just say 6 bar. So basically this is the mean. This is the mean. Okay, let's move on now. We look at the variance. So we say look at the variance. We look at the variance. On the variance we are told we have the sum of fx square, which is 5575 over sum of the frequencies, which is 30 minus the square of the mean. The mean is 13.56 bar. Now we square this one so that we get the variance. So continuing from here, the variance will be given by, when we continue from there, the variance will be given by, if we divide this, we are going to get 185.83 bar. The 3 keeps on repeating. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Simply, in short, we write 3 bar. Minus, when we square this one, again we are getting 184.054. 4. So simply we say 4 bar. So this implies that our variance is 1.778 bar. So this is our variance. This is our variance. 1.778 bar. So that is our variance. So finally, we need now to get our standard deviation. So as you can see, our standard deviation is given by that formula there. Our standard deviation is given by that formula. It is already written on the board. This formula here, it is already written on the board. Now, when you compare the formula for the standard deviation and the formula for variance, you can see that the only difference is the root here for the standard deviation. Everything inside is the same. The only difference is the root for the SD. So simply means that after getting the variance, for us to get the standard deviation, all we need to do is just to find the square root of whatever we would have gotten as the variance. So it means this that we have gotten as the variance is 1.778 bar. We just need to find the square root here. Then what we are going to get would be the standard deviation. So when you find the square root of this figure, we are going to get 1.33, and this number is to 3 significant figures. This number is to 3 significant figures. So basically, this is how we get the standard deviation, the mean, and the variance of such data. Remember, the only difference is here is that for this one, the data has not been given in intervals or groups. These are just individual values. So when we are given the data in individual values here, it means we have been helped a step further. We have been helped a step. That step, because if we were given this one in intervals, we are going to find first the midpoint. Now, here in this case, you just take these individual measures as the midpoint. Then you use them, you get the mean. You use them, you get the variance. You use them, you get the standard deviation. Thank you very much for